Okay, I think you should be able to hear me. You're just on mute. I think you muted yourself.
There we go.
Hello, sir.
Sir. Yes.
You look cold like you're in Ottawa.
Yeah, man, we got a lot of snow now. I'm
How
not
much
even
snow?
supposed. Did I tell you that I got stranded?
Yeah, you did
So
tell me
my
that.
family's in Utah since the 25th. Well, since before the 25th, actually, and I was supposed to fly out there. So they've been there since the 23rd, and I'm here still.
So what were you were there on work or you were there to visit family?
No, no, I've got family in Ottawa. My wife's passport had not been renewed, so she couldn't come to Canada. So that's a real bummer. Otherwise, we'd be all together. But now I'm working. What am I going to do? Because,
Go
everybody
ski.
that's here in my family, they already have plans. I mean, they've got plans. They weren't expecting me to be around. So I can't expect them to hang with me or me. You know what I mean? This is not working.
If you need a friend in Ottawa, I have my business partner Zach. So he's ready to drink beer whenever you're available.
Oh, is he here now?
He is, yeah, he had to come back. His daughter's there. He was in Florida and then he came back.
Oh,
So
he's back. Okay. All right. Oh, man. Anyway. Well, and the
so
funny thing is, my flight was canceled, not because of weather. I mean, you should read what they said. It's completely bogus. So that when I called, I spent an hour and a half on the phone with the guy on the 25th, I guess, or 24th, when I was supposed to get a fly out. And he's rattling on this story about, well, it's about the weather. I said, no, that's not what I got from United. It's like, it was all about traffic. And I've heard this, like, some planes are just canning flights, like they're told like at the beginning of the day or at the night from the next day kind of thing, like
okay.
the air traffic is saying, hey, you need to cancel one or two flights, like each airline. So Canada had to cancel two, Air Canada, and then United had to cancel one. So that's bogus. I end up being on short end of the stick. So
So what's the outcome?
outcome is I leave tomorrow.
Uh, and you're going to Utah
Yeah, for 2 days.
instead of a week. Are there where are they in Utah? They're skiing? Where in Utah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They got the best. Yeah, well, there you go. Of course, they've got the best
They got it
snowstorm
great.
ever. It's all powder everywhere. So, and then we come back to hockey, and
We
I'm
were I
coming
was
back.
just in Estero yesterday. I was gonna ask you if you guys are in that tournament. They got that 3-day tournament in Estero going on
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, we are. Yeah, good. Yeah, is your son playing in it or?
We played, it was the 8U was just 1 day, so we played and our team is not the best and he's good, but we won one, lost three, tied one, so we went home early. No
Oh,
championship.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so the 14-1-1, Derek would have played in it, but he's gone, so he's not playing. Um, and he's more of a fill-in because he's more 15-16. So we played in the last one in Jersey that I told you about.
Yeah.
But this one, because we were away, we're not playing. And then I've got a meeting in with the director of hockey. They're going to talk to us about what they're going to do for the 16 and 14 AA. Because my son and another kid are better than the 14U team, like
Uh,
this A. So they don't really fit in,
yeah.
really. They're just fill-ins, they can
Yeah.
fill in anywhere. That's because they know the game kind of thing, but it's
Hmm.
not fun for the kids like they really want to excel, right? Derek and Aiden, that's their names, and they would really want to do well and be part of like a strong team that actually knows how to play the game,
Yeah.
not just a little bit above rec.
Hmm.
So we'll see. I'm sure it's going to work out just fine. I told my son, I said, hey, it's an opportunity for you to be a leader. Look at it that way. So
Same,
he's thinking about it.
conversation. Same
What's that?
conversation, just with an 8-year-old I'm having. Same, the understanding's a little bit less
Yeah, yeah,
clear.
well, yeah. And you're going to be repeating it every year because I seem to be on a recording. But it's better, it's different every year. You're like, they just get it a little bit more. So it's gonna be interesting.
It's funny because I was telling my son my story yesterday as we were driving up there in the morning, and we had like a very long, like an hour and a half of engaged back and forth where he was like, not distracted. But then when
Yeah.
I went into my hardship story of being, a little bit older than him, like
Uh-huh.
that's when it kind of just like the dashboard went off, and we were the context was like not 100% on the same page.
No,
You
isn't
know.
that interesting, right? You share like a reality of like something that really happened that they could possibly relate to, and it's like it's a disconnect. It's bizarre. I know. It's like I don't get it. I guess it's a new world. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a new world.
All right, so let's talk shop.
Yeah, let's talk shop. All right. So foundationally, like from, I guess like with Marco, we spoke for quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I have a new story that is relevant to what kind of like your concern was from his feedback was, okay, well, we're gonna use social media, we're gonna run ads, and it's not targeted, and you can't really like, how do you know you're going after someone who's looking to build a multi-million-dollar home? Because there's really like that's difficult to do, right? Where we have a good territory like Palm Beach County. We're not too far out. Like whatever radius you're willing to build in, uh,
Mm-hmm.
we can target into on Google Ads. Like so, in terms of Palm Beach County, the search traffic that there is happening on a monthly basis, which I'll show you. Um,
Yeah, so let me share something with you so you get an idea of where we're coming from.
yeah,
Um, I'm very specific about stuff. Like I don't like fuzzy, maybe I'm not that guy.
yeah,
So I'm very specific. I have a very specific vision of where we're taking this. I've been with the company now for over my goodness, I guess it'll be almost 2.5 years. So um, and I've more than doubled their block of business.
mhm,
And now I'm about to go into hyperdrive because I've created a network, and it's all about word of mouth. At the end of the day, that's the most powerful tool that we have, right? But I'm only limited in me in what I can do. So the trick would be and then the next phase of that, the whole objective for us right now is to target homes that are on the build side. Okay, for this would be our cut when we go build something, would be between 2 and 6 million bucks. So that's like the next phase of where we're going. All right. So that would mean that and there's a lot of opportunity in Palm Beach. Palm Beach and then North Broward, maybe. But Broward County, this is where the segregation, we would rather stick with Palm Beach because for permitting and approvals at the government level, it's easier to deal with. Like Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, Dade County, they're just a cat's meow, man. They're ridiculous what they're doing. And it's their way of doing business. And it's because it's so far away. Why should we spend the time and money to do that when frankly we got plenty in our own backyard? Okay. Makes sense?
yes. Got it.
So we're talking Boca, we're talking Delray, we're talking Palm Beach Island, we're talking Jupiter Island, we're talking Palm Beach Gardens, North Palm Beach, we're talking Jupiter, we're talking Hope Sound. Any one of those areas that I'm sharing with you a lot of the builds are in that range. So we have not been able to capture that, although the level quality of work we do is befitting of that range easily. And we would probably come in cheaper for the better product than our competitors. You follow what I'm saying? Not
Yeah.
by much, but it would be more cost effective for us and for the customer. The customer wins.
So
And then say again.
the cost per square foot, what are you ranging approximately when you are quoting? Obviously, it's different, but just to,
Yeah, so right now for sure, like at 450 a square foot, we're good, like really good.
Yeah.
But now what we're talking about, Nick, is going up to about 800.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, you got condos right now that are 1,500 square foot that they're selling for $6 million. Do the math.
Right.
It's big dollars.
Yeah.
So we're creeping up to the $1,000 a foot range, and that's the objective. It's been part of the plan so that within 5 years, that's where we're at. And we've created a following, and it's all word of mouth. And so the tools that we are going to use, like these, right, are tools to help us validate what we're talking about, right? So when we go network with the Lux Group and all the other groups, they punch the information on LinkedIn or anywhere else. LinkedIn's been very effective for us, but LinkedIn and other places, and they realize, wow, this is the go-to company, And then the other thing that's going to happen is that the suppliers are going to become, we're going to be more aggressive with suppliers. We're going to be able to tell them what we want, not the other way around. Because everybody's been gouging everybody for way too long. They just capitalized on it, and they're greedy. It's all greed. So, am I making sense for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's 100% in terms of that, yes, I'm 100% with you. It makes total sense. Yes,
All right.
I appreciate it.
So how can you help us accelerate that and make it happen? And sooner the better, right? That's the whole idea.
So foundationally, there's like in 2 steps, it's obviously like you're saying word of mouth, being you're driving the business, you're going and meeting with people, right? Once you meet with them, they go and they check the online platform, website, social media, and then they make a decision, and they go on with their lives and their decision-making journey and everything like that. So I'm very much focused on the decision-making journey, and whoever we speak to or looks at our website, when they leave, for us to capture their information with the specific codes that we put on the back of the website, and then to create dynamic, branded, visual, video, and content that follows them wherever they go. So the sponsored ads. So basically, like if I go to the website, I leave, and then I go to Instagram to follow my friends, like just the people that I'm following. And because I was on your website, tomorrow and a month from now and 3 months from now, because the decision-making journey is, not short in this specific industry, this gives us more leverage, right? Like the each website visitor becomes that much more important for us to capture and to follow over the period of time. So wherever they go, if they open a YouTube video to watch, a hockey video, but they were, because they're a hockey fan, because they were on our website, we create ads inside of YouTube that interrupt the video that they want to watch as a follow-up ad reminder, only because they were on their website. Like we don't go to YouTube and run cold ads on YouTube just hoping that something sticks. We're capturing each website visitor from our website, each social media organic person that engages with our social media. We're able to take all of those people and make them our digital assets. And they become our data pool that we show ads to, not random people in Palm Beach County, which we have the ability to target into the high communities like on Facebook or Instagram. If you said, hey, let's run a brand awareness for a few $100s a month and show ads to these specific communities, to people who live in these specific communities of, whatever we want to create as an ad, and run those targeted ads to those communities, like we can do that and test that. And we will be for them cold, like introduction, right? Like, I mean, they might already know us or whatever, but we're not initially showing them a brand awareness ad because they were on our website. That would just be like, creating the top of the funnel. But the foundational systematic like execution that we do right away is we set up all the tracking on the website, and we make sure no matter who comes to our website and to any of our social channels, once they come and they step foot, from then on, they get ads wherever they go. Inside of Google Display Network, we create the visual ads. Inside of YouTube, we create the remarketing ads. inside of Facebook, inside of Instagram. We can do it inside of TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn. Like we can follow every single platform that exists. We put a code into the back of our site that captures that specific user, and whichever platform they use. Like you may use LinkedIn because you don't like Instagram and Facebook, and that's where you spend your time. So you would get the follow-up ad there. If it's a mother, a wife who likes Instagram and TikTok, that's where she'll see, or face, etc. Right? So like the user, whatever their behavioral social channel is, that's where they will see our follow-up ads. So that's remarketing, right? Like that's foundational, and that creates an exponential opportunity, because month one we have 100 prospects or 1,000 prospects. If it's a 6-month decision-making journey, or even up to a year, now after a year, we've acquired 12 months worth of website visitors that are not going to our website to buy sneakers. They're looking to build a custom home or do a high-end remodel, right? Like they're in the market, they may not be ready, they're going to go through their decisions, but they're in essence, like ready to do business at some point, like they're thinking about it. So we capture them. In regards to Lux, for example, like how do we use Lux or any other magazine that we're going to be advertising in? We put the QR codes inside the advertisements. Then the people who are reading the magazine scan the QR code, and now the QR code is taking them to our website. And when they go to our website, we're picking up their information, and now we can track that they came from Lux's QR code, they came to our website, and now they're going to see our ad wherever they're, like each unique user's social, channel of usages. That's where we're going to stay with them.
So just to understand what you're saying is you're putting like a token attached to their address. So wherever they go in the social media world, they're going to be promoters of our stuff, whether they know it or not, actually, as well, because they're going to see it. Right?
Absolutely. Right. So it becomes this web of like, once they enter our, like, let's just say this is the foundation, right? The digital foundation, the digital, like your office, if they come to the office for the meeting, it would be in a digital sense. Like they come into the office and then they leave, and now they're getting text messages from the secretary, right? Like that's a digital button pushing. This is different. We just build an ad and we connect each platform to make sure that they show our ads of Big Bear Developers because these are our assets. Like a person who goes to our website, if we give that information to Google and to Facebook and say, hey, we already have this person, just please show our ads to this person. We don't need to fish. We don't need to like use them and their algorithms. We just say, use this connective, tracking, use this person, and we want to follow them for a month. We'll pay for this. And this what becomes scalable. Month one, we start building. After 3 months, we'll have 3,000 website visitors that are going to be seeing our ads. After 6 months, let's just say it's 1,000 per month. We're getting 6,000 website visitors, and then it becomes an exponential return, right? Like if you get 100 in all industries, the math is basically for every 100 website visitors you get, it's 2 leads, 3 leads, 4 leads, 5 leads if you're doing well. Like the best website, that's really the numbers, right? The rest of the people leave, 95 people leave. And if you don't have this remarketing system in place, they're gone, right? You can call them, you can text them, like all that is manual effect. And those are interruptions of their day. They're not going out of their way to call you. So it's a disconnect. This social, like and then they'll see the ad like every 3, 4, 5 days. And again, like I'll show you the content that we create when we do video, like a beautiful testimonial video that overlays the home and the video of the home while the person is talking about their experience with Big Bear Developers. Like they built my, amazing home from the first step, from permits to this, to that. Like it was just amazing. And that's what the people see who, your efforts are going to drive everyone to look at our online presence, right? Like no matter what, everyone is doing their due diligence online. You shake a hand, you're still going to go online and do your due diligence. This way, we're going to cover your back from all your work that you're doing. Plus, obviously there's the Google Ads situation where there is traffic of people who don't know Big Bear Developers, who are looking for a custom home builder or a luxury home builder. They're not putting in when they search like $10 million custom home builder or $5 million custom home builder, they're generally typing in most of the time, like top rated custom home builder or best home
Right.
builder or custom home builder near me, luxury home builder near me. And when they do that, like they're not typing in Big Bear Developers or your competitor's name. Like if they're typing that in, our ad doesn't appear. We can make ads appear on top of competitors if we want. Like that's a strategy of doing Google Ads, but that would just be a portion of the strategy. The foundational strategy is when someone searches for the relevant word, you know, and here are the versions, right? So like this is average monthly searches of people like custom builders near me. There's 20 searches in Palm Beach County. Custom home builder, there's 140 searches in Palm Beach County. Luxury home builder, there's 20 searches. No one's even bidding on that keyword right now. You know, custom home builders near me. So over the course of this is like the last year from December to December, you know, there's in variation, there is approximately 1,000 searches in Palm Beach County each month that we can basically appear at the top of Google for. And then when,
So
you know, like,
how would we, okay, so that's great. This is, so how would we know that the percentage of those thousands, right, of the 1,000 a month, how would we know that some of them are really just remodeling? They put custom homes, but right, they really don't really want a custom home. They want to remodel. You know what I mean?
Well,
how would we know that?
This is, you know, an investment, right? So like, this is going to be a math game. It's the same 100 website visitors from this. We'll get 2, 3, 4, 5 phone calls. It's just, if we're not there, then someone else is going to get the opportunity to
do it.
So there's no, like, when you're saying specific, there's no guarantee there of that. And that's why I'm, you know, like accentuating is the context of no one's, when all these variations come up, there's nobody saying, I want a $10 million, you know, builder. But we have also this, right? Like luxury home remodeling, whole home remodeling, and then there's different traffic for those specific words. So let's look at that. Like, you know, luxury home remodeling, there's 10 searches per month in Palm Beach County. Whole home remodeling, 10 searches in Palm Beach County. And we can appear for those as well, right? Like we'll take those $1 million builds and no one's even advertising. You see the competition is low. So no one's even there. Like right now, the custom home building space, the custom home builders are sleeping. They're just like, in terms of this opportunity, it's wide open. It's wide open right now. And we can take this year's worth of traffic. And, you know, I mean, like, I don't know how many, you know, 5 new custom home builds that we can generate in the next year. That would be great, right? Like, I mean, it's big gross value. But if we get 12,000 prospects in the course of the next year that are searching for that, and we generate 5 deals, there's still 11,955 people who are still going through that decision-making journey in the next year, right? Like, I mean, it's math. There's some will have done it, but it's not that many that are going up. So we're building an audience, an asset base of prospects that we're tracking every single thing. All our calls are recorded. So we set up the call recording. Every click, like if it comes from Google Ads, I know the phone call came from Google Ads. If the phone call came from our remarketing on Facebook, like the person saw our ad on Facebook, they clicked the ad, they went back to the website again, and they called. The call tracking tells me it's a Facebook phone call. Same Instagram, etc. Like we set up the unique phone numbers for each social channel that we follow everybody with. And when they click, like, and I'll just show you just from a Google Analytics perspective. And like right here, like custom home builders, Palm Beach County, right? Like I'm in Parkland, I'm typing this in, I click that. And then here you go, like Optimum Development LLC, luxury home builders.
You're in Parkland?
I'm in Parkland. I'm in Parkland.
Yeah, okay. So my good buddy, Joe Laziski lives there. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Do you know Joe? Does that name ring a bell? Sorry.
No, I don't know. He's hockey or no? I think you might have. Yeah, you might have mentioned that. I think in Parkland, you had a friend. Okay. So yes, I mean our objective would just be to be here, right? Like when someone types this in, we want to be number one. Right. And as an example, right? Like so they come, they show up Optimum Development LLC. not even a good website. Like, this is not good. This is just, so
Right.
like, we can win. And look, they have no Facebook pixel, so they're not remarketing their website visitors. They're coming up number one on the exact keywords that we want to be at the top of Google for you, and they have no remarketing in place.
So,
Um,
so with that, so, okay, so, and these are ads, right? So these would be ads like ours, basically. We would be.
yeah, so this is just Google pay-per-click, right? This is search, non-visual,
Right,
language-based search result, right? Like, this is not the
right.
pretty stuff. The pretty
Uh-huh.
stuff is on social media, where the actual like, let me show you an example of a video production that we've done a lot of video content.
Right.
So, and then we can do like educational, not just testimonials, but we like, I produced this content. This is Del Rey.
Okay.
This is artsy. This was like a one time, like, this is more artsy than really what I like. I don't think this is what really sells, but you can run this, right? It's gonna go into
Mhm.
the home and showcase the home. Um, but it's kind of showing a lifestyle, right? Beach to back to home, from golf cart back to home.
Yeah. Yeah. And now it's going to the home. Marc Julien. He must be Asian. Either Asian or Canadian, one or the other.
So, this is artsy, but we can make, like, we can do a production where we talk about the actual tangible decision-making context that people make their decisions based on when they are not with you, like you present. We can make like 31-minute video topics on, we'll make the 30 topics in advance, right? We come in and we talk on it. Like, I ask you a question, like, what should a buyer look for in regard, or like, what's the expected time of a permit? Like, how do you make determinations on a budget, when you're determining how much to pay per square foot? How do appliances play into the cost of the build? Like, what are the factors that affect, to go over budget, how to not go over budget? Like, different points that are relevant to your industry. We can
Mhm.
create like 31-minute videos, and we can build on this type of concept as we go through the year. Like, we do a production, let's say over the course of 1 year, we do 3 productions, we'll have like 100 videos, and you have a YouTube channel that everything is YouTube optimized, keywords, tags, SEO. So you get SEO effect from an organic placement in YouTube. And then all that content is going into Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Like, all of that is going to get distributed to all the social platforms organically. So then when the people research us, right, like, we get the meeting, they go to the website, we get the lead, we call them. And then let's say we send them an automated email, like, here's a video of a testimonial. And then now they're attached to all our other channel videos that we have, 30 different topics that these people can make decisions on. A follow-up email a week later, here's another video on, something to consider. The subject line is educational. Now it's engaging, value-driven communication with our prospects, instead of like, hey, I'm following up, like I've been doing with you. Hey, I'm following up. Hey, are you
Yeah.
available? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, but if, like, if you were going on social media and then you just start seeing all these videos of me talking on, this topic or that topic or this topic,
Yeah.
like, that's the
Well,
follow-up.
they're gonna want to meet you, right? Because they feel like, hey, I'm talking to somebody that's got something going here, Like, they're gonna want to meet you in person.
And that you care, like, not that people don't care, but it's like,
Yeah.
this is new, right? Like, and it kind of seems like it's a lot to do, and it's kind of like, where do we start, etc. Like, this is my wheelhouse. Like, I'm very, like, executionable, like, within, videos. Like, we do a production, let's say, January 5th, January 12th, we'll be approving the style of the video. January 19th, the videos are going to start being distributed on YouTube, and every social platform. If we talk about doing a website rebuild, like I can show you some versions of some stuff that we've developed that if, we want to make it nicer, within 2 weeks, brand new website, fully redeveloped. Like, so, and again, like from day one, we put the codes in. There's nothing more important than each website visitor. And then to be able to follow them. So we start building data from day one.
So is
And
that built into the websites or is that built into the system when people come in? How
say
does
that one more
work?
time, sorry.
Is the tag attached to the website? Like, is it designed into the website?
Yeah, you have
Or
to go and put the code in the back of the site. So you have one global site tag. I don't even see a Google Analytics installed. I'm not sure if you have one. So
Okay.
here, like Facebook Pixel, you don't have in effect. So, and then, in terms
Yeah.
of like Google Analytics, right? So this is my foundational place where I go and spend most of my time, like from an evaluation perspective on performance.
Uh-huh.
If we go in to here, right? So we go to conversions and then we go to goals, and this is how we track what's happening, right? So like people come, and the goal is, like a form submission on the website or a phone call, right? Like those are our leads, right? So then
Right.
we check in, right? So like let's say for the month of December, apply, goal completion, 80 completions, 63 forms, 17 phone calls. And then we say, okay, well, where are they coming from? Okay, so that's telling you like Google Organic, direct website visitor, Auto Trader, Car Gurus. This is just a car dealer that I'm ended up on here. But like if you go,
Right.
um,
Hey, we got stuff from Missouri. Nice.
we have stuff from all over the world with this Google Analytics. You won't believe where the traffic's coming from.
Oh, it's crazy. It's worse here in Ottawa. Ottawa say, oh, you just Google it. They're so addicted to the Google thing.
Oh, the Google thing is wild. So like
It's
this
crazy.
is,
Yeah.
right here. So let's say for this is one builder.
I'm not, so that's kind of bizarre, right?
There's people who I bring up Google Analytics. They're like, I'm not looking at it. This is hieroglyphics. Don't bring this up to my attention. But it's this is a custom home builder.
Yeah.
January to August, and this is the performance, right? So website visitors, and this is just a Delray builder. 13,000 referral, organic search 12,000, paid search 8,000, direct 7,000, social media 2,767. Display remarketing 2,000. Other is Facebook. So, this is 43, I believe 43,000 website visitors in 8 months.
Right.
Yeah, 47, sorry. 47,000 website visitors in 8 months for a Delray builder, January to August. And then you go to conversions, goals, overview, and then you go again. It's the same concept. Form submission, phone number, click. And then we go to source medium, and it's Google CPC 230, direct 100, Google organic 85, Facebook paid 46, Facebook referral 34, and the list goes on. So this is leads, right? This is just inquiries, right? Like a person form submits or they do the phone number. But like this is what we can do. This is how granular we can get. We will get right from day one. And then, I definitely highly suggest the video production. Like your work is ridiculous.
Okay.
I mean, when we sat with Marco and he showed me those lookbooks, like it's just crazy the work, right? And even those books, when I look online still at the brand, like from a digital perspective, I'm going to take all that content and I'm going to distribute all of it, like everywhere.
So, yeah, so
yeah.
I want to make some changes to the website because some of the work we do is really avant-garde. It's a step above. And so I've got a couple of fielders out to friends of mine that are into the website design. And I told them what I want. I mean, I want stuff where we actually bring the pictures to life. Like literally, like you walk into that house that you have there right now, but you're walking into it. It's a digital rendering of your future home. And it looks off the charts. I mean, that's what we're doing right now for our customers before they even build anything.
Yeah,
So it'd be really cool so that when people click on it, whether it's a touch screen or a mouse click, they would go like right into that room. You know what I mean?
let me show you, this is
Good.
over the course of a year. This is from, actual video production, but,
Okay.
and in regards to rendering, I have, I will touch on that as well.
Yeah,
Like
because
here's,
we've been doing that for like, there's some projects, Nick. I mean, one of them is in the Bahamas. Where, yeah, see, that's a rendering. We've been.
this one actually is finished product.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a testimonial, right? Like this is.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Capture this. So we captured the footage across the whole year of the build.
Right. So we've started our project managers on a scale to take pictures of everything every week on every project. And the purpose of that was to do this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that you
just
have
the video, we got, the video, the pictures, I just always am, that word video is like, and I have the videographers, they can come in once, they can come in for an hour,
yeah.
and just capture it, and they can start the drone where it starts every single time the same exact way. Like here's,
Right. You have to figure out what the cost is to do that. It's maybe prohibitive, but we'll see.
it's not crazy. I mean, for the value of having it, at the end of the, year for these multi-million-dollar homes, like
Well, see, yeah, exactly. I agree with you. So like, that's why the target is so important, because then, at $1,000 a foot, yeah, I can afford to do this. You know what I mean? On every one of them. And then we can give a package to the customers when they move into their house. We're giving them a whole package with the videos, with the book, like a whole thing. That's been my intent from the beginning.
Yeah. This one is the one that's like this is from scratch.
Rendering. Yeah. Oh, you're mixing both in. Nice.
But what I was gonna say is my wife with the rendering, she has a very good, not to put too much on top of everything, but like we have inexpensive renderers. I know some builders are paying like up to $1,000 per rendering. We have, there's situations where there's, for the same quality, we can get it, less expensive. We can touch on that a little bit later on, but there's that savings as well. Just, it's not like you're doing 50 of them a year, right? But like it still counts, depending on how many you're doing. Like there's still.
Well, we can price it into the build too, right? So it's a small token cost really when you look at it.
Yeah.
Big scheme of things. So
yeah,
the customer doesn't know it could be part of our admin costs. There's got to be marketing money for every case anyway. So
okay,
right. Cool.
And in terms of the website, so here, portfolio website under construction, like this is minor stuff, but yeah, so let me show you. Okay, so let's see this portfolio. Like we built this site.
The Julien site, right?
Yeah, the website, we developed the website. And then, it comes into here, available, current, portfolio. And then, there's the video there as well. And then, you have the pixels, everything's pixel, all the codes are in place. Remarketing, tag manager, call metrics.
Okay.
And then like lookbook, people like this. Elevations, kitchens, dining, pool. So we take all the content and we subcategorize it all. And then it comes, so that it's easier to like, framework into the conversation when you're even having the meeting. It's easier to kind of like organize the context of the conversation. And also, again, in terms of like presentations from a visual perspective, something that like my wife is an expert in all of that in terms of like pinpointing, and for the actual presentation, I think she'd be able to, you guys could talk about that. She's very good at that type of stuff as well. She was in the meeting with Marco when we met. She was, pretty handy for me. So I really just, I know I can help. I think we have a good human understanding from our time spent with Marco, and it seems like you and I are, close to the same language, understanding, right? Like you speak, I understand exactly what you're saying. It has to be specific. It needs to be based on data and proof, and then just to show in terms of like, the calls, right? How do they look? Like, what are we looking at when we're getting the phone calls? This is, like today, right? The calls for, different trackable events, but, call 12:18 p.m., 2:52 minutes, roofer, this is who called. We click audio, and then we can just make sure that the lead was good, right? Like we listen to the call, and then each time a call comes in, I can have it streamlined right to your email. So for, the 30 days, you had 65 phone calls, quality control. How are your internal teams handling that? For us, it's important because I need to understand, like at the end of those 65 calls, how many were, for under $1 million situation, how many were potentially for a remodel because something is off. Like everything is adjustable in regards to what we do. Foundationally, we set it up because we already know what we're doing in regards to this niche. Like we get this space, we completely understand what's going on. We know $500 a square foot. This is who we built a book of business for prospects this year for $59 million, and they were all $500 a square foot. Nothing else to talk about. Like that's the minimum. If it's under, sorry, it's not for us. And we developed a renovation. Like this is also off the back of this custom home building. Then we developed the renovation, situation where it's only $1 million renovations, where it was like a separate, category. Home build and renovations. It's by Big Bear Developers, but it's a renovation structure, right? And then the keywords for this are separate. And I have a separate Google Analytics. We're running separate remarketing for remodeling off of this.
Right.
And this is not custom home building from the beginning. This I'm showing just that I'm clear as day as to you not wanting, shit like low end prospects.
Yeah.
Like they'll potentially come, but it's not like off of that's like a straggler, right? Like that's an interruption of our actual business model. It's not going to be the like flow of leads that are just going to be garbage because we didn't build the campaign right. And I will, to not continue on too long, but I will just make one last point in regards to that. I just took on, I don't know if you've ever heard of GJ Gardner Homes. They're in New Zealand and Australia. They're like the 63rd biggest company in the world in terms of gross sales. And they opened a franchise in the United States. They're like $200-300 a square foot. They have 17 locations and they've been here for a year. They've gotten 17, GCs to basically buy their name and, hope that they're going to feed them leads. They have a marketing company that they're working with for the last year that absolutely did an atrocious job. Like they were advertising in Zillow. Number one, Zillow leads were coming in because in New Zealand and Australia, they have they're community builders. They're volume community builders. So when you are building a volume community, it makes sense to advertise new home for sale or the type of home that they're building, like a ranch home or the category of the home, because you have, projects that are like already kind of like in production and it's a shorter time frame and it's cookie cutter and you can just bring people in and sell them, on the lower price tier, right?
Right.
They're not advertising custom home building, but they're here as a custom home builder. So they're paying a marketing company $10,000-15,000 a month to manage their whole national campaign. and they gave me access. They brought me on as a consultant because their performance is awful. And I looked at the ads, and this is to your point, like you can mess it up. You can set it up and do a bad job of setting up Google Ads and getting the wrong website visitors.
Market, yeah.
And this is what my report said this week. I got access last week. I reported back this week, and they're literally typing in homes for sale, and their Instagram, they're literally just a custom home builder. Like that's what these people paid them to gain access to their name to get the leads. So the people are complaining about bad leads because people are calling and saying, hey, do you have a home ready available? It's a new construction home because I want a new home, but I want to buy it right now. No,
Yeah.
sorry, we are actually a custom home builder. You need land and you have to build from scratch.
Yeah.
Disconnect on the highest level, and they're spending $20,000 a month in ad spend plus the retainer, and they have 17 unhappy franchises across the country. And their organic social media is complete trash. They're not explaining custom home building. I'm only saying this, like I'm not saying anybody's names or anything like that, except just the GJ Gardner. But like there are marketing agencies that have no idea what the hell they're doing. And
I know.
I'm just not of that category. And I know you said you want to be specific, and I'm making just a very specific, like final point about that, is that this is not what this is going to be. Like this is transparent conversations like this that are focused on data. You know, there's going to be SEO organic that we're going to do. We're going to do all the blogs. I'm going to create the library of content that's relevant to custom home building. And at the end of a year, when I write 35, 36, 40 dynamic custom home building blogs, have them all on the website, have, 50 videos that are categorized exactly with the keywords of custom home building and the subcategories of what it takes to build it and what goes into the decision-making process on YouTube and across all your social channels. And then getting leads and tracking them and telling you they're from this, from that. And most importantly is having a full-scale remarketing where they come to the website, and no matter whether it's from your efforts or from the digital efforts or from anybody's efforts, as soon as they come to Big Bear Developers, they will never forget Big Bear Developers, because we will not allow them to, because we're going to create those social ads that are going to follow people no matter where they go.
Right. Okay. So what's the next step, Nick? Like, what can you put together for me that outlines everything we talked about? Where you see, have you done any analysis on the Big Bear side to be able to give us some proper advice on what?
Yeah, of course. I sent we can walk the proposal right now. Like I sent it to Marco.
Okay.
I can just show you what I sent.
Can you send it? Can you send it to me as well then?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, just send it to me. I'll have a look at it. Then I'll go through it. Then what I would recommend maybe is us get together again when I get back.
Okay.
I'm back in the office on Tuesday, so sometime next week.
Okay. So
Of course, I can't predict United, man.
Well, that's what I was going to say about, did you see the thing about Southwest? It's like 90% of the flights in the US were canceled because of Southwest. And they're not because of weather or something. That was the headline. I didn't go into it because it didn't affect my day.
Yeah.
But that's what I heard, is that 90% of the flights were Southwest.
Last week, the FAA threw a comment out there saying that they had concerns about the maintenance on 90% of Southwest's flights, planes.
Wow.
So
there you go.
So what do? I saw it coming, and the timing was, why did they do that a week before Christmas? So you knew it was going to happen, right?
That's crazy.
And so all these people that got stranded ended up picking up all the other seats on every other airline from wherever they were. Thus, chaos. Right? I'm telling you, man, you kind of wonder if there's something in, behind the scenes that pulling all these strings together to make it.
I don't know. I was going to say, is there aliens that they know are flying over the skies in this week, or something like that? Like that really wouldn't surprise me when I open to get where I'm going on MSN, on Microsoft. These alien Freaking, there's a daily alien. They know that that's the one thing that will distract me from work is just this like 5 second. Are we sure we're not being attacked by aliens? Because man, everything else is like in play. This is just what a
That's
crazy
funny.
world we're
You know,
living in.
I stopped watching that because some of it was starting to be really bizarre. So
Yeah, yeah. It's enough bizarre going on. I was like, oh my god, this is just wild.
I know. All right, so let's finish off on this. Let me check. Okay, so you'll send it to me. I'll have a look at that. I'll have plenty of time to do. And then you can CC Marco just to make sure he knows I'm getting it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I will
'Cause He's
resend it
he's
to
given
you.
me the whole thing to me because he's got no time to deal with it at all. And plus he's gonna come to me afterwards and say, so what should we do? I'm gonna say, well, I don't know. You're just telling me stuff now. So he's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So I want you to check it all out. Yeah. Oh, okay, great. I'll do that. You have to
Yep.
understand, Marco and I are like best friends. So it's that's why the company is flowing well. You know, one of the reasons.
It's great to have a dynamic like that. That's I mean
Yeah.
it seemed like good energy in the office. I mean, we chatted for a while and personal and business and
Yeah.
it seems like a solid fit from just the human element. Like the objective is to have a long-term working relationship and to have fruitful results for you, of course, and then for us to kind of just be a
Yeah.
byproduct of that, right?
It's a
So
win-win, right? Yeah.
absolutely.
Excellent. Okay. Any suggestions on your side for me?
Yeah, just call me and say let's go. I mean, that's honestly when I
Okay.
spoke to Marco, he's like, I'm ready. I just want, I want the harmony within the organization for Michelle to go through it and speak the same language as you. And I said, well, Marco, when are you ready? And he said now. So
So just FYI, when we go with regards to social media, um, I'm a big stickler with no comments.
okay.
We've been involved, Marco and I, in other businesses where basically the comments have shut the company down. They were using social media for marketing, and they had to shut down. It impacted their bottom line so badly that, and I told them, you got to stop the comments. You got to shut it down completely way at the beginning. And we could have probably reversed it. At the time, this was in the health field as well. It's a completely different, industry. And they didn't. They bucked at what I was suggesting, and you know what? 6 months later, Nick, they were down.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's one bad comment, one bad comment that gets multiple attacks and it's over. So and some of them are lies, outright lies, and then you can't remove them. It's
Not on Google, not on Google, and not on Yelp. You can't. You just have to. The reviews is definitely like, yeah. Let's take a look. So, Big
yeah.
Bear Developers.
Just keep that in mind.
Well, I would say I do Google, yes, like 6 Google reviews. It would be the same thing as like if you got one bad one, it would fall from a 5 to like a 3.8 off of having a lower
Right.
number. So I would definitely say like in addition to what we're doing is to start maybe creating like 5 per month that we can just enter, and then
Right.
at the end of a year we'll have 66 instead of 6, and then one if there's ever an issue that doesn't affect the outcome, right? But when
Okay.
you have a low count and one comes in, you never know when from what, like you said, like there's no way, and when it goes into Google, like there's no way to get Google off. Like I've had negative reviews from me from a competitor, and you could clearly see in their Google profile, like you could see the user, and they were brand new Google accounts that were just created and like never had any reviews anywhere. And then I go
Yeah.
and I show to Google, and they're like, it's an open platform. People can do whatever they want.
I know. So it's just understand that's something that's important because that can have a long-term impact. So, and as we become more aggressive in our industry and become more forthcoming about stuff, we're going to be targeted. And it's ruthless in every industry, but let's put it in perspective. This is the construction industry. It, remember those egos? Well, times 10, just look at Mr. Trump, whether you like him or not, he's from that industry. He's a perfect example of what you could be dealing with,
Yeah.
ruthless.
Yep. Yep. Well,
So,
that's the world. The world is getting more ruthless by the scary for the kids, I can tell you.
oh, you got that right.
They got these golden mouths and they are in for a wake-up call as they get older.
Oh man, yeah, it's gonna be
I mean,
hard.
obviously the leaders are going to still go and, get into the right spaces and like, have positive lives. But I think for the middle 80%, like moving forward in the world, it's going to be.
Yeah. Oh, it's been the talk forever, right? I mean, the top 5% control the 95%. That's basically it. And
Yeah.
the middle class is being completely annihilated. They won't be able to survive.
AI coming, it's like, if I just start talking about the new stuff that's happening in AI, you'll be like, what?
Yeah, really.
It's just insane what's going on right now.
So when I was in college, something that kind of touches upon AI, it's just a different angle, but it's subliminal messaging. Same thing. It's the same kind of approach, except those were the beginnings of it. And what they would do is in recordings, whether it's video or audio,
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
would they would have in a certain range of vibration some other wordings. You couldn't hear it, but it would impregnate your brain, your
Mhm.
mind
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
those thoughts.
Mhm.
And the military put that through, and it works, dude.
Mhm.
Initially they were doing it so that it would enhance the study capacity of students, but
Okay.
you interpolate that to another level, man. It's crazy. So then you got the whole Microsoft platform that's been transforming kids' minds forever. How Bill Gates basically decided to do that from his onset, right after he left Apple. um it's kind of interesting, but it's a double-edged sword. There's two sides to this story.
Yeah, the problem is this AI is going to wipe everything out. It's the beginning phases of what they've already released with it in terms of like
Yeah.
open source to people that are available. It's
Oh
it's
yeah.
like it's going to be a wrap in like a year from now with what it's already doing right now.
It's self-learning, I know. Yeah, it's like it's a metaverse system, right, where people can actually live their whole life on a computer.
My kids woke up, they're 8 years old. They both woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and the first thing they both did is took their computers and just went on. Like we don't usually have them out, it's Christmas, whatever, but like holidays, but and then I don't even know how much like I want iWatch, I want iPhone, and that's like all they. But it's even now for us. There's the movie. I don't know if you saw it. It's like a documentary about the social media. It's the and these phones, like it's just in our brains. My wife wakes up, picks it up, and just starts scrolling down.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I go and I start working, but like, so I'm still the same thing. Like my world's digital and all that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
it's tough.
What's the name of that movie? Is it on
I
Netflix or?
gotta, I watched it over a year ago. Like I told everybody about it back then, and now, I don't know. I'll look it up for you today, and I'll text it to you.
Yeah,
It's
all
it,
right.
it's it's it, I turned it off. I couldn't continue watching it. Like
You were
I
too.
probably got through like 60% and it just disturbed me on a level that I was just like, I don't, and I'm in the space, right? Like I know like what they're
You
doing
worked
and
that.
how they're able to show. My friend just bought like a nice new boat, right? We're texting about it yesterday. And then at dinner, I'm telling, and our kids are friends. So I'm telling my children that he's inviting my children and us to go on the boat with him. I didn't look up anything online for boats, nothing. I go on Instagram, 30 minutes later, bam,
Got
boatsetter.com,
boats. Yeah.
$75 for per hour in Miami Beach for a boat rental. That's from
Yeah.
texting. That's from Verizon selling the data to Facebook and Google on that element, right? Like that's my provider. So they're pushing that, that's messaging. And then, Facebook's connected to WhatsApp and then the cloud and Apple, and then it's just all there. The words are siphoned and then it's
Yeah.
resold on that market and it shows you real time. But the execution of it from the data pull to the refeed of the social ad to show up on my channel from a text. Like I didn't go on a website. It's 30 minutes. It took 30 minutes
That's
for it.
insane. Yeah, that's insane, dude.
Yeah.
It's the other thing, another sampling of that is the your phone is a receptor that's always on, right? So that microphone is registering what we're talking about right now, right? It's on. And so you'll bring up a subject, I don't know, you'll start talking about these boats, right? Or this one company. And guess what? Next thing you know, when you go either on any form of social media, like you just recognized, and that's yours was through texting, this is just through the voice. And it's registering what you're saying and then giving you all the analytics on it. That's crazy, man.
The feminine products that my wife has told me were her personal, private, like feminine conversations that she's gotten from just voice.
Wow.
That's like health invasion.
So much
There's no more privacy. Like I remarket for dentists. It's legal. You can't do it on Google, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They don't care. And he's like building an education course right now. We're developing for him to teach luxury dental education. And he like every 3 months, he's like, Nick, it's legal what we're doing with the remarketing, right? And I'm like, yeah, like you're allowed to show ads to people who went to your website, and you're allowed to show ads on Instagram of people who follow you organically on Instagram because they went on Instagram. He's like, okay. And he just keeps getting leads from Instagram and it just keeps working. And he's a big Instagram guy and, big cosmetic dentist. But anyway, it's, listen, you got to use it. If you got to use it, it's at your arsenal. Like to not use it for your business is, like it's available. So let's use it and let's beat the competition. We don't need to take the whole market, but it's good to take 5-10 builds, next year from this.
Oh, there you go.
I lost you for a second. They didn't like what we were saying, so they said turn off for a minute.
Yeah, the government just voted to remove TikTok off all mobile devices, or remove the software, whatever, this morning. So there you go.
But I mean that platform has a very negative context in terms of like I've spent time on it for the past 3 years because the people that I follow that are market leaders are like TikTok is next. Like my sisters have been on that and they're pretty young. They've been on that for 5, 6, 7 years doing those dances when it just came out. But then all of a sudden, like during COVID, really, like that's when that thing, all the moms exploded. And all the, like the middle-aged, they started going on it. And now companies are like e-commerce is just killing it there because of this social proof video style where these influencers say I did it. They take the video of themselves trying on the clothes or whatever e-commerce product you're doing, and the social effect, right?
Right.
So that doesn't work for us. That's not our platform. But having a professional middle-aged couple who just had who built a $10 million home on video talking about it with having the context of the beauty of the work, like the craftsmanship and just the dynamic effect of it, and playing it for everyone over and over subliminally once every 3 days.
Right.
That's fair game. There's nothing wrong with it. And again, like I had a meeting with one of my car dealer clients earlier. The thing that's really like registering in my head is that, when you follow people up with the phone call and the text, you're calling them, you're interrupting their day. This flips the script. Like they consume it on the time that they're choosing not to be engaged with work, right? Like you go on social media to disconnect from your day-to-day life. Like you want the noise to stop and you just want to be like, it's like watching TV. And
Right.
there you're open to receive whatever comes your way. Like you're not, and these nice videos come through and then they click it themselves and then they call themselves. Different effect,
Different. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, so I will re-email you both. I can send you a text on Friday. No, you're gonna be in Utah until the end
Yeah,
of the
I'm in Utah this week,
next
so we're
week.
gonna have to
So,
move. Yeah, next week I'm back on Tuesday.
okay,
So
so let's hopefully get this going at the beginning of 23 and just,
that's
in
the
my
plan.
book, time's a wasting.
All right, man. Awesome.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate the connection and
Appreciate it here
I'm
too.
positive that this is a good thing.
All right, good. So I look forward to reading this stuff, and then if I get some feedback for you before I leave here, I will.
Okay,
I can't promise it though, but we're moving in the right direction. All right.
absolutely. Okay, I'm
All right.
available. You got it. Take care,
Okay,
Michelle.
Nick. You
All right,
bet,
have a
man.
great day. Bye.
You too. Bye.